Hi there, welcome to KwikTactiX. In this tutorial, I want to show you how to use the line drawing tools. The Session Planner has 4 line drawing tools available. These are Standard Line, Dash Line, Wavy Line, and finally the Multiline tool. And each one has multiple functions, which we'll go through in this tutorial. When you click any of the 4 line tools, their functions appear at the bottom of the Session Planner, here. And when you click any line that is already on the canvas, then its modification functions appear here as well. Okay, let's start by creating a line using the Standard Line tool. So go ahead and select the Standard Line tool. To create a line, move your mouse to the point where you want the line to start on the canvas. For this exercise, move the mouse to the center of the canvas. Now press and hold your mouse button in and move your mouse cursor. Notice how the line follows the mouse cursor while the mouse button is pressed. Keep the mouse pressed until I tell you to let go. While moving the mouse cursor around, press and hold your Shift key on the keyboard. This will activate the line straightener. Notice how the line stays straight when you move your mouse cursor on the canvas. Move the cursor in a circle motion. And notice how the line stays straight vertically and horizontally, as well as 45-degree angles. Now move the cursor to where you want the line to end. And let go of the mouse button. Now let's create a line with the line functions. The Standard Line tool should still be selected. Move your mouse to the Line Functions menu at the bottom of the screen. These function buttons can be turned on or off. If you hover your mouse over the buttons, they tell you what functionality they add to the line. From left to right we have Start Arrow, which adds an arrow to the beginning of the line. End Arrow adds an arrow to the end of the line. Square Callout adds a square text box in the center of the line. Oval Callout adds an oval text box in the center of the line. Triangle Callout adds a triangle text box in the center of the line. The Curve Line function allows you to create curved lines. And finally, the Gradient function allows you to fill the line in a gradient style. These functions are the same for the Dash Line and the Wavy Line tools. However, the Multiline tool does not have any additional functions at the moment, but is on our roadmap to add them. Okay, let's turn on the 2 arrows and create a line. Click the Start arrow, and also click the End arrow buttons to turn them on. Now create a simple line on the canvas, like I do. Notice how the line begins with an arrow, and ends with an arrow. Now let's create a line with an arrow at the end, and with a square callout in the middle. Go ahead, and turn off the Start arrow, then turn on the square callout. Now let's create a new line. Click the Start position of the line on the canvas, and hold your mouse button down. Drag the mouse to where you want it to finish, and release your mouse button. Because we have a callout function enabled, you will see a window appear, asking you to enter some text. Enter 22 in the input box, and click Add. Now check the new line we created, has the number 22 in the square box on it, and notice it also ends with an arrow. Let's go ahead, and create a line with a circle, and a line with a triangle callout. But deselect the arrow, so no arrows are added to the line. Follow what I do. Notice that you can only select one callout function per line, so when I click the round callout button, it automatically deselects the square callout. Okay, you should now have the callout lines mastered. Let's go and create a curved line that has a gradient fill. And let's change the thickness of the line. Go back to the line functions and select End arrow. Deselect the triangle callout and select Curved and Gradient fill. Also drag the pen thickness slider down a peg to make the line thicker. And let's add some color by selecting the yellow ink function. Now when we create the line, there is a slight change to how you create it with the curve. Move your mouse into position, where the line will start on the canvas. Click and hold the mouse button, just like you do creating a normal line. Move the cursor to where you want the line to end. Let go of the mouse button, but this time move your mouse cursor to create the curve. Then when you have the curve you want, click the mouse button once. Notice that the line is indeed created, with the end arrow, the curve, and it is filled with a gradient yellow. You can use any combination of functions with the Standard, Dashed and Wavy Line tools. Go ahead and create 2 lines. The first one should be a dash line that is curved and has a red gradient fill. The second should be a white wavy line that has a start and end arrow. Start by selecting the Dash Line tool and turn on the functions like I do. If you followed what I did, you should have the dashed and wavy lines on the canvas now. The more times you use the line tools, the easier it will get. When you use the Selector tool, and select a line that is already on the canvas, 2 drag handles will appear at each end of the line. And the functions that the line is using will also be shown. This means you can dynamically modify or reposition the line without having to recreate it. Let's change the curve color, and add arrows to the dashed line we just created. Click the Selector tool, if it's not already highlighted. Now click the red dashed line we created. Notice that there is 3 functions available that you can modify. These are the arrow functions and the gradient fill. And also notice there is an extra handle in the middle of the line. That is because the line is curved. Let's add an end arrow and slightly alter the curve of the line. Click the End Arrow function button, and watch the arrow appear on the line. And to alter the curve of the line, click and hold the middle curve handle and drag it to where you want the curve to finish. As you can see, it's very easy to modify the line. You can also change the thickness and color of the selected line as well. Click the wavy line to highlight it. Now drag one of the end handles to alter its position and let go of the mouse. Now, while the line is still highlighted, drag the pen thickness slider to alter the thickness of the line. And click any of the colors on the color menu to change the line color. See how easy it is to dynamically modify any line. Okay, let's clear the canvas to start fresh again. Right-click anywhere on the canvas and select Clear Canvas. The canvas should now be blank, so we are now ready to play with the Multiline tool. The Multiline tool allows you to create any amount of lines that are joined together. Let's create a white 3D box using the Multiline tool. Go ahead, select the Multiline tool. And click the white ink function button. The way you create lines with this tool is slightly different to the way we create normal lines. Move your cursor to the center of the canvas. Remember, you don't need to hold the mouse button in for this tool. Begin by clicking the mouse button once to start creating the line. Now move your mouse cursor to position 1 and click the mouse button once. You should notice a line has been added to the canvas. Move your mouse to position 2 and click the mouse button again. Then carry on, and move your mouse to position 3 and click again. Finally, move the mouse back to the starting position, but this time double-click your mouse button to finish creating the line. You should see a single white line has been created, that spans to multiple lines, and forms a 3D area. Just like the other lines, you can also modify a multi-line item using the Selector tool. Click the Selector tool, if it's not already highlighted. Now click the multi-line item we just created. Notice that each point we click to create the line has an adjustable handle. Simply drag any of the handles to reposition the shape of the line. And click any color button to change its color. And click anywhere on the canvas, away from the line to deselect it. That's it. You should now have a good understanding of how to create different lines on the session planner. We hope you enjoyed this tutorial.